My mom is a famous internet celebrity. From the day I was born, she started an account to share every little detail about me. My college roommate looked at me enviously. Your mom really loves you. You must have many beautiful childhood memories. How much does an internet celebrity make per month? My mom now has 5 million followers, and a single advertisement brings in hundreds of thousands each month. When I showed them the amount, they were even more envious. Then they looked at me with suspicious eyes. Then why are you so poor that you go to the cafeteria every day begging for food, and only wear school uniforms? I swallowed a mouthful of steamed bun. Because my mom's account is about raising a child on only 300 yuan a month. Just as I finished the steamed bun, my mom called. Seeing the dormitory background, she frowned. Why aren't you at the library at this hour? I rolled my eyes behind her back. Crazy. The library closed hours ago. Then go clock in and memorize vocabulary, or you'll lose 10 yuan tomorrow. I originally thought that once I started university, my mom's 300 yuan child-rearing videos would come to an end, but unexpectedly, one of her videos went viral. Title: Is 300 yuan a month enough for a daughter in university? The video exploded. Aside from a few eccentric moms and neurotic men, the comments were overwhelmingly critical of my mom. But those comments didn't hurt her at all. Instead, she found inspiration in a sarcastic remark. Clock in tasks to earn a monthly allowance of 300 yuan. From running on the sports field at 4 a.m. to studying under a street lamp at 3 a.m. My mom's god-tier operations never fail to enrage the netizens. What about your parents if you start an account like this? It's fine, my grandparents disowned her long ago. Even worse than the cattle at Ying's house, I agree. At least the cattle have dedicated workers taking care of them. If the daughter gets kidnapped, it would be a life-changing miracle born into such a family. I'd write 31 suicide notes a month. The daughter probably mistakes a cafeteria slop bucket for a Michelin-starred restaurant. My mom was dragged through the mud online. Out of her 500k followers, 9k were anti-fans, and the remaining 1k were zombie followers she bought when she first started her account. But my mom was quite pleased. In fact, over the years, she had always followed the black and fame route. From the moment I was born, while she was still in the hospital, she began building her account. She budgeted 300 yuan a month to cover my diapers and formula. Diapers were changed once a day. 50 yuan bought 30 pieces of a generic brand. If there happened to be 31 days in a month, I had to reuse them. Formula cost 150 yuan a month. One scoop of formula mixed with 2 liters of water. Even bootleg liquor makers would recruit her as their R&D director. I survived by sheer luck, barely making it to the age where I could eat porridge. But her video started to lose viewers as the content became repetitive. The netizens eventually grew tired of criticizing her. Her viewership plummeted. Unless it was during major events like the National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival combined with 2 weeks of shifted holidays like the Spring Festival travel rush, or when a certain thieving country tried to steal something again. Only then would people take the time to criticize her. The rest of the time, her account was deserted. My mom couldn't sit still anymore. She desperately needed innovation until one day, she stumbled upon a video titled Successful Women Teach You Independence. And so, as soon as I turned 2.5, she started teaching me independence. A new title was born: How to Raise an Independent, Self-Loving Daughter on 300 yuan a month. Instantly, a wave of curses flooded the comments. My mom was very satisfied. But I resisted independence. At least as a 2-year-old, I genuinely didn't know how to use a comb to tie my hair. Then, the next day as content became, my daughter was 2 years old and still can tie her own hair. She's lazy and has no redeeming qualities. No one will want to marry her in the future. She received another wave of furious criticism. With her sharp sense for internet trends and accumulating 500k anti-fans, she deserved to make money. Because I didn't memorize vocabulary at 3 a.m. or run at 4 a.m., I lost a whopping 10 yuan. So, while working as a cafeteria auntie, I started a live stream to earn some pitiful money. As my mom's daughter, I held a unique position in the live streaming world. I applied for work-study positions at school and received invitations from all directions. Live stream the school's admissions process. Live stream open classes. Live stream cafeteria food serving. Various departments at the school were eager to have me for work-study. Because I constantly live streamed to earn my miserable fees, the school's reputation spread far and wide. My mom suddenly sent a live stream connection request. Seeing me dressed as a cafeteria auntie, she screamed, "Mercy! Why aren't you at the library clocking in at this hour?" I reflexively flinched and the top piece of braised pork fell off. The athlete across the counter instantly glared. I immediately gave him an extra heaping spoonful. Seeing me ignore her, my mom raised her voice, "Mercy! What are you wearing? I knew I shouldn't have given you too much money. Girls go astray when they have money. You've even gotten into uniforms." My mom is quite knowledgeable, but not very intelligent. I deliberately taunted her. It's because I'm poor with 300 yuan a month. What can I eat? I can't even afford the certain stewed brand of bird's nest puree holding clean ingredients, soft texture, natural egg white fragrance. Oops, I've gotten so used to her ad-libs that I accidentally recited the advertisement. My mom snorted coldly. Folly took a small sip of the bird's nest with a silver spoon and habitually frowned. Isn't 300 yuan a month enough? Didn't I give you a few yellow peach cans? Isn't that enough for you? She could talk about those 3 yellow peach cans for a lifetime, as if 3 were equivalent to 300. Speaking of yellow peach cans, her first advertisement came thanks to me. Back then, netizens in the comments always accused her of maliciously building her account. They also mocked her for being unfit to be a mother. Someone even posted a video of their child learning to swim, thoughtfully noting the price of 300 yuan per session. Well, that's enough to feed me for a month. My mom, unwilling to be outdone, wanted to prove she was a good mother who nurtured her child's all-around development. So, as soon as I could walk, she threw me into a river. In the dead of winter, she claimed it was to teach me winter swimming and build a strong physique. Fortunately, the livestream audience called the police. I didn't drown, but unsurprisingly, I developed a fever. However, I had already used up my 300 yuan for the month. My mom strictly adhered to her no unnecessary spending policy. No medicine, no hospital visits. She casually opened an expired yellow peach can for me. Burning with fever, I clung to the coal can and greedily devoured its contents. The next day, the video went viral. Everyone started reminiscing about yellow peach cans. She landed her first advertisement. My mom is a clever woman. So, I started frequently running fevers. Various food sponsors reached out. Even if it was surstramming or black garlic, I was ready for the challenge. Some netizens questioned why I was always getting fevers. My mom's standard reply, overnourished. Recently, my livestream earnings have been pretty good. By careful calculation, I'm now a wealthy individual with 500 yuan. But fame brings trouble. When you have money, people come looking for it. My private messages started attracting some weirdos. If I had an extra cup of mixu iced city, would you come with me? Normally, I treat such people as toxic gas and flush them away. But I couldn't stop him from materializing at my food serving window. He held out a cup of mixu to me. You don't have to be touched, actually. It's what I should do. I know you've had a hard life. I'll treat you well from now on. But drinking mixu every day is too extravagant. I'll consider letting you have it once a month. If you get pregnant, you can have it once a week. If it's a boy, I'll reward you with 2 lemonades. The cafeteria security uncle dragged him away. His legs kicked wildly in the air as he shouted at me. Let me go. Didn't they say 1 cup of mixu is enough to take you away later? I found out this guy was a severe shut-in, and the online influencer he'd recently become obsessed with was my mom. What he yelled before being dragged away was a line that had been in her comments since her first video. Everyone assumed that a girl raised like me would be love-starved and unable to resist the slightest temptation. A portion of fried chicken, a cup of milk tea. An ice cream stick. Any of these could move me deeply enough to hand over my life. How naive. I lack money, not brains. Those who have endured poverty aren't easily swayed by small favors. I only care about whether I can eat my fill and whether I can lift myself up to soar higher. But just as I started to soar, my mom clipped my wings. The reason was the winter break. I didn't want to go home. All because my mom had already announced my winter break life in her live streams. More miserable than the cattle at Ying's house. Besides, I could now live stream on my own, and I could find work near the school. New Year's Eve paid triple wages. So, she used her capital power, hired thousands of people, and mass reported my account. I was forced off the platform for a month. I confronted her. In the video, my mom smirked, her eyebrows slanting upward. Mercy. Do you really think getting into university makes you something? Hurry home and film videos. I'm in a good mood now. So I'm willing to give you 100 yuan for living expenses this winter break. If you're a day late, I'll deduct 10 yuan. Yes, she was copying the new viral influencer S raising a daughter on 100 yuan a month series. As soon as my mom finished speaking, I heard a sharp scream, bang, crash, crackle. After a series of noises, the phone screen pointed at the ceiling and the video transmitted my mom's ouch sounds. Turns out, she was wearing 10-centimeter stilettos and fell down the luxurious spiral marble staircase at home. She broke her leg. The doctor said she needed at least a month of bed rest, TCH. How unlucky. What a heaven-sent opportunity for me to start my own account. I immediately gave up the triple New Year SE pay and joined a cheap tour group to return home. On the way, I registered a new account. Posted my first live stream announcement challenge, caring for my bedridden mother. On 350 yuan a month. Look how filial I am. I even gave her an extra 50 yuan budget. I posted photos of my mom bedridden with a broken leg, attracting a wave of her hardcore anti-fans. Everyone was excited and full of anticipation. The fan group one created reached 30 groups within half an hour. Such a grand scene, I've witnessed it now. There were also uninformed passersby who criticized me. Starting an account like this will be the death of your mom. He instantly received many likes, with my mom's anti-fans replying, "Bro, say more." When I rushed home, my mom was lying in bed. Although she couldn't move, her mouth was as sharp as ever. "PH, didn't you say you could earn triple wages and wouldn't come back? Now you're crawling back? Do you really think you can make money on your own? Mercy. I'm telling you, if it weren't for me raising you on 300 yuan a month all these years, you'd have starved to death." For the first time, I didn't argue back, just kept nodding. Yes, yes, yes. My mom's expression shifted. Perhaps because I was being unusually obedient, and after ruling out possession, she relaxed my winter break clock and tasks. Originally, I was going to give you 100 yuan, But since you're being so obedient this time and even came back to take care of your mom, I'll give you an extra 50. But this money isn't given all at once, even though you're not at school. For the sake of your studies and health, you still need to study until 5 a.m., then run at 6 a.m. to buy freshly baked egg tarts from the next street. Even though there's a place for you to stay at home, you can't live here for free. I'll charge you 100 yuan a day for rent. Mom knows you can't earn money right now, so write me and I owe you. After you graduate, pay me back monthly with 2% interest. Oh, and utilities are split too. She paused. Mom is doing this for your own good, to cultivate your independent and self-reliant qualities. After finishing her long speech, she cleared her throat and called out, "Auntie, my throat is dry. Cook me some bird's nest." No response till my mom called out a few more times. I grinned eerily. Stop calling, there's no auntie anymore. I deliberately dragged out the last syllable. My mom looked terrified, especially when she saw me carrying a bunch of live streaming equipment. Her fear peaked. Because the scene was all too familiar to her from my birth to adulthood, she had used these live streaming tools to document my life. I was the observed character in her videos. Every move I made in front of the camera was scrutinized by countless strangers, who freely judged whether I was good or bad, right or wrong. The embarrassing, painful, and tearful moments, and my mom always stood glamorous outside the frame, smiling as she watched my miserable life. She instinctively covered her face, her screams more piercing than ever. "Mercy, what are you doing?" Now, with her leg immobilized and only the two of us in the huge house, she had nowhere to run. After setting up the equipment, I smiled at her. "Mom, do you remember what you said when I got my first period and had blood all over my pants? And you pointed the live stream camera at me? Back then," she said, "it's just letting everyone see. It's not like you're losing a piece of flesh." When I first got my period, I was terrified, thinking I had a terminal illness. But she just happily started a live stream. She broadcasted my panic and fear, my embarrassing blood-stained pants. I opened the live stream, announced the first filial live stream content. 1 lamp badge, feed my mom a sip of pre-made soup. 1 little heart, add 1 minute to my mom's sleep tonight. 1 paper crane, increase allowed bathroom trips by 1. "Mercy, you're insane." Mom's eyes widened, and the scream from her throat sounded like the roar of a dying beast. She frantically threw pillows from the bed and cups within reach at me. Under her terrified gaze, I adjusted the live stream camera to focus on her. Mom tried to shrink under the covers, but when I mentioned raising a mom on 350 yuan a month, she abruptly emerged. "Mercy, you're crazy. How can anyone live on 350 yuan a month?" I said innocently, "Mom, you raised me on 300 yuan a month all these years. So, all this time, you were deliberately making me suffer? It wasn't what you said about fostering my independence?" My mom would never admit it. Even though she had done many cruel things to me over the years, she still brainwashed herself. Facing the netizens' curses and questions, she always insisted that she was only fostering my independence and preventing me from becoming a pleasure-seeking rich second generation. The first to flood the live stream were the anti-fans from my 30 groups. Everyone was delighted to witness this counterattack. I smiled and began a live stream dedicated solely to her and me. Only this time, the roles were reversed, the plot twisted, and the satisfaction maximized. After the live stream started, comments trickled in, but no one triggered the items I listed for the live stream content. Half an hour later, my mom's stomach growled. "Mercy, I always made sure you had enough to eat back then. What do you mean by this now? You're being unfilial. How can you be so vengeful at such a young age? I've raised you for nothing. Hurry up and cook me some bird's nest." She habitually reached out to slap me, but I was no longer the little girl who would just stand there and take it. I dodged and quietly turned off the live stream audio, whispered in her ear, "Stop struggling. Haven't you figured it out yet? From now on, in this house, it's just you and me. I've taken all your electronic devices. This house is a prison I've lovingly prepared for you." My mom fully understood her predicament. She started playing the victim for the live stream camera again. "I'm old. I don't have many good years left to enjoy. What's wrong with eating well and treating myself kindly? Should a mother sacrifice her whole life for her children and have no life of her own?" What a touching awakened female lead speech if it weren't my mom saying this. If she hadn't exploited my survival resources to achieve her own success, I'd give her a like. But now, I just smiled and wished her well. "Mom, you'll definitely live a long life. As the old saying goes, the wicked live 1,000 years. She froze, and the next second, she prepared to cry. Quick as lightning, I grabbed a tissue and rubbed it all over her face. I leaned in. "Mom, you said it yourself, crying is useless. Strong, independent girls never cry. You need to reflect on why no one is giving you tips." This was exactly what she'd said to me all my life. Whenever her metrics were poor or her live stream gifts were low, she'd make me go hungry and reflect on live stream. Usually, I'd also have to perform a talent. Only when the day's live stream earnings met her expectations could I eat a few boiled vegetables. "Why don't you perform a talent?" My mom was stunned. She even tried to move her leg. "Sing? When someone gives you a lamp badge, I'll feed you." My mom's stomach growled loudly every few seconds. The live stream chat, however, was lively. "I feel like this is a 30 years east of the river moment. Same here. Feels like attaining divinity and returning to slap the old bastard who kicked me back then. But streamer, if you really don't feed her, won't she starve? That won't do." If she starves, who's going to compensate me for my electronic pet? In that instant, over 100,000 people in the live stream simultaneously sent lamp badges. My phone screen scrolled so fast I thought it was glitching. My mom watched excitedly. She sneered, "I told you, live stream earnings aren't that hard. I never let you suffer growing up." I laughed inwardly. My mom wasn't naive. She still hadn't realized the terror of over 100,000 lamp badges. It meant she had to drink a whole lot of pre-made soup. I kept my word, took 30 yuan from the 350 yuan living expenses, and ordered pre-made soup packs. Old hen soup, beef soup, pork bone soup. A rich variety. My mom watched me boil water and prepare the soup on live stream. She hesitated several times but held back due to her growling stomach. The chicken soup was ready. My mom downed it in one go. She rubbed her stomach contentedly, satisfied. The second bowl, she drank it too. The third bowl, by the eighth bowl, she felt nauseous just smelling the chicken soup. I wasn't going to let her off, just like when she first discovered my egg allergy. She peeled eggs while promoting her morally bankrupt parenting philosophy on live stream. Allergy? That's just something hospitals and pharmacies made up to scare people. Think about it, back in our parents' day, and even further back in ancient times. Did anyone ever say they had allergies? Well, they probably all died. My mom shoved an egg into my mouth. As I choked, stretching my neck and hiccuping, she shoved another egg in. That night, I lay in bed with a high fever and red rashes. My mom wouldn't take me to the hospital. She opened a can sent by her advertiser surstramming. Thinking back, I'm grateful for my tenacious vitality, surviving countless near-death experiences. I kept forcing soup down her throat, until soup started spilling from the corners of her mouth. The live stream audience, concerned about the stream's continuity, urged me to stop. I heeded their advice. Then I sat down to chat with everyone. My mom, beside me, was flushed. "Mercy, help me to the bathroom." I shook my head in refusal. "No paper cranes yet. Why go to the bathroom? You're so lazy, always running to the toilet." "Why don't I need to go?" I rattled it off smoothly, like reciting lines. Familiar, my dear mom. These were the lines that accompanied my 18 years of growth. The chat was still lively, but everyone wasn't truly heartless. When my mom's face turned purple from holding it in, she finally received her first paper crane. "Mercy, get me a sanitary pad," she called from the bathroom. "I'm kind." So I didn't make her earn the pad. I quickly handed her the no-name pads I'd specially bought. A loud curse came from the bathroom. "Mercy, how dare you give me this knockoff product? If I get sick, will you take responsibility?" I looked at the 300 pad pack that cost 30 yuan and shouted back, "Mom, this is what you bought for me back then. You said back then that today's sanitary pads are all about brand markup, and the truly quality ones are from these simple factories." The first time I got my period, she grudgingly took 30 yuan from the 300 yuan living expenses and bought me hundreds of these pads. Every period during my teens, I was itchy and uncomfortable, until my classmates ostracized me due to the unpleasant odor. I cried and begged her to take me to the hospital, but she said, when I was her age, I never had any problems. She looked at me suspiciously. "Are you dating someone? Who have you been messing around with?" In the bathroom, she fell silent. After a long time, she asked me to help her back. That night, because no one sent little stars. My mom was forced to stay awake until dawn. The next day, she unilaterally announced her withdrawal. How could I let her have her way? I endured 18 years of torment till so. Another round of lamp badges, little hearts, and paper cranes began. My mom gained 5 pounds. Indeed, I was still too kind. Happy times are always short. A month passed in a flash. During this time, I successfully built my account and earned enough for tuition and living expenses for the next 3 years of college. I no longer had to worry about money. I could be like my roommates, head to the cafeteria after morning classes, and if there were no afternoon classes, sleep like the dead of the dorm. I could be an ordinary college student, enjoying the hard-won university life, sleep in if I wanted, eat when hungry, go to the library if I felt like it, instead of serving food in the cafeteria, working at the youth league committee office, or shelving books in the library. I packed my luggage and returned to school. My mom also regained her freedom after Auntie returned and her cast was removed. She returned to her old tricks. Daughter in university, earning 500 yuan monthly allowance through clock-ins. Heavens, the capitalist has grown a conscience after breaking her leg. She empathized with me and actually raised my pitiful allowance by 200 yuan. But this time, I no longer needed to clock in for living expenses. And her 500k loyal anti-fans, after enjoying a month of schadenfreude at my mom's expense, were satisfied and unfollowed her en masse. Her advertisers also terminated their contracts. They sniffed me out. Compared to swallowing anger, a strong female lead like me, who exacts revenge, fits the modern trend better. So, as my mom's followers plummeted to around 100k, and aside from yellow peach cans, she had no other ads and no one watched her live streams anymore. She couldn't sit still. While I was live streaming for the school's promotional emissions, she sent a connection request. As soon as I accepted, she was in tears. Mom said in the live stream that she regretted it. After a month of living on 350 yuan, she deeply understood the hardships I'd endured growing up. She painfully confessed her guilt over the years. She said she would make amends. The comments were filled with, "We don't believe you." But my mom wasn't swayed by the comments. And at the end of the live stream, She called out to me emotionally. Tomorrow, she would broadcast her redemption video live across the internet, and then I would see her determination to make amends. I was actually a bit dazed. Tomorrow is my birthday. Was I hopeful? Of course, I was. As a child in kindergarten, I also envied other children's parents. I envied the sweet, singing birthday cakes every other child talked about. I realized from a very young age that I could never rely on her. But I still awkwardly hoped that one day we could sit down peacefully and have a meal together as a family. I began to look forward to tomorrow. Even though I had never expected anything in over a decade. I was unusually distracted in class, spaced out during live streams, and zoned out of the library. My roommates tacitly understood, but I waited all day, and my mom never showed. Her phone was always busy. Finally, at 8 p.m., she told me to connect to her live stream at 23:50. I was stunned. A live stream birthday celebration. Well, okay then. It's just a bit awkward. With so many people watching, I was afraid my mom would say something overly sentimental. You know, teenagers, I'm quite concerned about face. When I returned to the dorm, a 6-inch cream cake was sitting in the middle. My roommates had bought it for me together, and they even put a birthday hat on me. So, when the time came, full of anticipation, I opened my phone and connected to the live stream. As soon as the screen lit up, my mom was holding a little girl, 7 years old, sweetly smiling, wearing a crystal birthday crown. My mom kissed her and, for the first time in her life, spoke softly. Mercy, this is the daughter I adopted. I named her Candy to pair with your name. Mercy, I know today is your birthday. I searched for a long time at the orphanage to find a sister who shares your birthday. Starting today, Mom will raise her properly and give her everything I owed you. So, she's even stealing my birthday. Behind her was a massive birthday party. She had splurged to rent out the entire Disneyland. Fireworks bloomed above their heads, illuminating the little girls and my mom's smiles. I lowered my head, fingers twisting my clothes. It's fine. It's fine. I can earn my own money now. I can celebrate my own birthday. When I buy a ticket to Disneyland, I can even make a money-saving guide. After a rare moment of silence, the comments exploded. Holy, I don't know if I should say this idiot. It's like she arrived when spring wasn't meant to come. Wait, is she preparing for a favoritism storyline to torment us for another 18 years? Not just 18 years, favoritism lasts a lifetime. My mom miscalculated this time. In this era of East Asian family dynamics, where almost every family has a youth pain child. Most anti-fans who grew up love-starved who wants to watch you perform mother-daughter affection. Especially the overly artificial kind. She didn't successfully rebuild her account as she'd imagined. On my side, however, advertisers flocked to me. Every casual live stream I started had over 100,000 viewers. Uncles, aunts, brothers, and sisters topped the leaderboards endlessly. My mom, accustomed to a life of luxury and worried she might go bankrupt one day, couldn't sit still anymore. So, she brought that Candy to see me in the cafeteria. My mom set up a live stream and sat across from me to eat. Mercy, Candy has always wanted to meet you. My mom tried to break the ice and ease the awkwardness. I didn't say a word, just silently ate my dishes and soup. Mercy, where are your manners? Mom kindly brought your sister to see you, and this is your attitude. My mom angrily threw her chopsticks. I came all this way to see you, to have a meal with you, and this is how you treat me? Candy quietly chimed in. Sister, do you not like me? Sister, why won't you talk to mom? Sister, chirping, non-stop. I yelled, stop shouting. Enough already. If you want a sister so badly, why didn't you convince my mom to adopt another one from the orphanage back then? Candy burst into tears. My mom hurried to comfort her, her gaze toward me turning icy. Mercy, Mom wanted you to experience family warmth. Look at your attitude. Don't give me that I grew up love-starved nonsense. Mercy, I'm telling you, you deserve everything that's happened to you. Her voice exploded in my ears, amplifying in my mind. I made a crazy decision that day. Looking back, it was pretty satisfying. I directly picked up the 2 plates of food in front of me. Very fairly, 1 plate on my mom's head, 1 on Candy's. Their screams and outbursts echoed through the cafeteria. That day's live stream was recorded. My mom became material for Ghost District uploaders. From that day on, we tacitly entered a Cold War. I no longer had any 300 yuan allowance clock and tasks. My mom changed her live stream name to Candy's Mom Raising a Daughter Edition. She frequently updated about her and Candy's daily life. Candy's first princess dress photo shoot. One dressed as Snow White, the other clearly the evil queen. They definitely haven't read fairy tales. Illiterates flocked together. When these photos appeared in her videos, the comments were uniformly mocking. Is this right? In my lifetime, I've seen Snow White and the stepmother in love. But the streamer's self-assessment is accurate. The evil stepmother. Candy's first day of school away from her. My mom waited outside the school all day. Candy's first time washing her feet. My mom happily posted over a dozen videos. She no longer cared whether the video would go viral, whether the topic would resonate online. Every video she posted seemed like the ordinary mother-daughter life. I could scroll through hundreds of them a day. It felt like a declaration of war against me. I thought this stalemate would last a long time, before I could figure out a counterstrategy. My mom lost both her money and her daughter. Who would have thought that Candy was actually a dwarf? She stole all the cash from my mom's safe and bank accounts and disappeared. When my mom found out, she only had 300 yuan left to her name. She sold the mansion and moved into a 100 square meter apartment she once despised. So, that year's New Year's Eve, she awkwardly asked me to come home. I replied, busy with New Year's sales, earning millions in red envelopes. Then sent her a small red envelope, 300 yuan, for living expenses. The next Mid-Autumn Festival, she asked if I wanted mooncakes. I replied, tons from advertisers. Besides continuing to give her 300 yuan, I also sent her a mooncake gift box. We continued like this, only contacting each other during holidays. My mom occasionally live-streamed to earn what she needed, until my college graduation. When she came to school for my graduation ceremony and couldn't find me, she panicked over the phone. I could hear her frantic voice. Mercy, where are you? Mom has been looking for you for so long. Even if mom was wrong, just come out and see me. The airport announced the final boarding call. My mom's voice suddenly rose. You're at the airport? You're going abroad? Is it for some brand event? Her last question was cautious. I looked at the blue sky and white clouds outside and smiled. No, I'm studying abroad. Maybe I won't come back. What about mom? She blurted, then paused. I laughed. You know, I never lacked love growing up. I lacked money. Now I have money, and I'll give myself plenty of love in the future. My mom's voice choked up. You really don't want mom anymore? I didn't answer. Just as I was about to hang up, her voice came through. Mom, no, she was wrong. The apology I waited 20 years for finally came when I had completely let go, bringing this story to an end. How can you sentence me without giving me a chance to make amends? Mercy, you should give mom a chance to make it up to you. I suddenly remembered the first birthday cake I tasted in my freshman year. I watched her hold her newly adopted daughter in her arms, calling her sweetheart over and over. That year's cake was bitter and salty. I did give you a chance, and then you reminded me again that I'm an unloved, pitiful worm. A bitter smile escaped my lips. I don't need it anymore. You really won't come back? Mom asked repeatedly. I hummed in agreement. The call ended. I thought, after going abroad, I'd change my phone and number. I probably wouldn't tell her my new contact info. From now on, under the blue sky and white clouds, I'll soar upward on my own wings.